Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Coronation Street is set to revisit Cassie Plummer and Steve McDonald's romance storyline on Valentine's Day. The pair were briefly romantically linked last year, though Steve has been cautious of Cassie in recent weeks as she continues to con Ken Barlow so she can keep her job as his unofficial carer. However, in scenes set to air on Valentine's Day, February 14, Cassie tells Lean that she has feelings for Steve. Best streaming services. Despite her recent one-night stand with Steve following her split from Nick Tilsley, Lean encourages Cassie to go for it. But as Lean watches all the happy couples enjoying the Valentine celebrations at the Rovers, she can't help but feel lonely and drowns her sorrows. Will Lean find her own match, and does Steve feel the same way about Cassie? Claire Sweeney, who plays Cassie, previously shared her hopes for a romance between Cassie and Steve. Coronation Street reveals Platt Fire aftermath in 24 new spoiler pictures. We saw the spark between them at the speed dating, and it didn't get off the ground, but they are good for each other. They are similar ages, so they like the same things, she said. Even in real life, Simon and I sit and chat so much because we like the same movies and know all the same songs. There is familiarity in coming from the same era. However, their potential relationship could all come crumbling down if Ken discovers that Cassie has been spiking his drinks with antihistamines to make him drowsy. Although her behavior has sparked suspicion from the Barlow family, Ken won't hear a bad word said against Cassie. But when Cassie recently explained to Evelyn that she'll be moving in with Ken because he needs round-the-clock care, Evelyn couldn't help but feel suspicious. Will she play a role in Cassie's inevitable downfall? It was Valentine's Day on Coronation Street, and the crisp winter air was filled with the scent of roses and the excited buzz of romantic anticipation. Heart-shaped decorations adorned the windows of the Rovers' return, where Jenny Connor had gone all out for the occasion. Glittery garlands and red balloons gave the place a festive warmth, and a Valentine's Love Special was advertised on the blackboard menu. Cassie Plummer stood at the corner of Victoria Street, clutching a small bouquet of daisies in her hand. Daisies, not the traditional Valentine's Day roses, but they were meaningful to her. When she was younger, daisies symbolized innocence and new beginnings, and that's exactly what she hoped for today. Ever since her return to Weatherfield, Cassie had struggled to find her footing. Her relationship with her son, Tyrone Dobbs, was improving, though it hadn't been without its challenges. But today wasn't about family reconciliation, it was about love, and Cassie couldn't stop thinking about one person, Neil. Neil was a kind-hearted man she had met during her time at a recovery center in Manchester. Their connection had been immediate, built on shared experiences and a mutual desire to rebuild their lives. They had promised to meet up after their respective recoveries, but life had a way of pulling them in different directions. Months had passed without a word, and Cassie had resigned herself to the idea that their brief romance was just a fleeting chapter in her complicated story. But a week ago, fate had intervened. She had spotted Neil at a cafe in town. They'd exchanged numbers and, after several heartfelt texts, agreed to meet for Valentine's Day. Cassie took a deep breath and looked at her reflection in the window of Roy's Rolls. She had made an effort today. Her makeup was subtle but elegant, and she wore a red blouse that Tyrone's partner, Fizz, had convinced her to buy during a recent shopping trip. "You look amazing," Cassie whispered to herself, trying to build up her confidence. "You've got this." The sound of footsteps pulled her from her thoughts. She turned and saw Neil approaching from across the street. He was tall and lean, with salt and pepper hair and a warm smile that made her heart race. "Cassie," he greeted, his voice as warm as she remembered. "Neil," she replied, her smile matching his. "You made it." "Of course, I wouldn't miss this for the world." They stood there for a moment, just taking each other in. Cassie felt a rush of emotions, joy, nervousness, and a flicker of hope. "Shall we?" Neil gestured toward the Rovers. "I hear they've got a Valentine special." Cassie laughed. Jenny does love a theme. They walked together to the pub, the tension melting away with every step. Inside, the atmosphere was lively. Couples filled the tables, and Jenny was bustling behind the bar, serving drinks with a grin. "Cassie," Jenny called out, "looking fabulous, love. And who's this handsome gentleman?" Cassie blushed. "This is Neil. We're here for the Valentine special." "Well, you've come to the right place," Jenny said with a wink. "Take any table you like." They found a cozy booth near the window. Neil pulled out a chair for Cassie, and she couldn't help but smile at the gentlemanly gesture. "So," Neil said once they were seated, "tell me everything. How's life back in Weatherfield?" Cassie hesitated. "It's been a journey, but I'm getting there. Tyrone's been amazing, and I'm trying to be the mom he deserves." Neil reached across the table and took her hand. "You're doing great, Cassie. I can see it in your eyes." His words brought a lump to her throat. "Thanks, Neil. That means a lot." They talked and laughed, sharing stories about their pasts and dreams for the future. As the evening wore on, the pub grew even more lively. Jenny announced a karaoke session, and couples eagerly signed up. "Fancy a duet?" Neil asked, his eyes twinkling. Cassie laughed. "I'm not much of a singer." "Come on, it'll be fun." Before she could protest, Neil had her hand in his, leading her to the makeshift stage. The crowd cheered as they took the microphones. The opening notes of "Something Stupid" by Frank and Nancy Sinatra filled the room. Cassie's nerves melted away as Neil gave her an encouraging nod. They sang together, their voices blending surprisingly well. By the time they finished, the pub erupted into applause. Cassie's heart was racing, but it wasn't from nerves. It was from the sheer joy of the moment. "You were amazing," Neil said as they returned to their table. "So were you," Cassie replied, her cheeks flushed. The evening continued with more laughter, music, and stolen glances. As closing time approached, Neil took Cassie's hand once more. "Cassie, I need to say something," he began, his expression serious. "I know we've both been through a lot, but being here with you tonight, it feels right. I want to see where this goes." Cassie's breath caught in her throat. For so long, she had guarded her heart, afraid to let anyone in. But Neil was different. He saw her, flaws and all, and still wanted to be by her side. "I'd like that too," she whispered. Neil's smile was radiant. "Then it's a date." They walked out of the Rovers hand in hand, the cold night air biting at their skin, but Cassie didn't feel the chill. All she felt was warmth, the warmth of hope, love, and a new beginning. As they strolled down the cobbled street, Cassie glanced up at the stars. For the first time in a long time, she believed in the magic of Valentine's Day. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our channel Street Gossip for more update news.